ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு ஆன் பண்றேன்.
கேக்குதா? வாய்ஸ் கிளியர் ஆயிடுதா? நீ பேசு பாப்ப. பார்த்திபன். பார்த்திபன்.
எஸ் சார். ஆடியபிள் சார்.
ஆடியபிள். மேம் பேசுறேன். மேம்.
Ma'am, unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, madam, I am hearing now.
Okay.
Shall we start, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Good evening.
Can you see my slide? Can you see my slide?
Yes, yes, madam.
Okay.
I am seeing. It is visible. So, good evening to all present here. I love to welcome our expert, Professor Shikha Kapoor, Director of PhD Program at Amity University. Today, she will be presenting on the topic preparation of book review and consultancy project. Now, I would like to introduce the chief guest. Dr. Shikha Kapoor is a keen HR and educational professional having work experience of 32 years in consultancy, corporate training, academic, and research. She working as a professor and HOD, HR, and OB and director, PhD program, Amity International Business School, Amity University, Noida, since January 2012. He has worked as for United Nations, International Labour Organization, then HR Tractor and Right Management, Tetra Tech Limited in the area in various management institutes. She is a PhD in management and has a professional degree from Delhi University. She has been visiting faculty in various prestigious management institutions and also a corporate trainer since past 23 years in attitudinal, behavioral, motivation, and self-development program for government, private, public undertakings, and speaker in various forms of organized and conducted seminars and conferences. She has authored 15 management books and published various articles in international conference and also published various books also. She has authored book review in McGraw-Hill and Sage. With these few words, I welcome you, sir. Welcome me, madam, and hand over the session to you.
Just a sec. Something is open now. It's not closing.
Now it is. I am visible, madam.
Okay.
You can go to the first slide.
No, I can, but you know, I opened the QA and it's not closing now.
Minimize it.
Oh, minimize. Yeah.
Minimize it.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, all of you. So you are the PhD scholars.
All faculties. All faculty members
and PhD scholars.
Yes, yes.
So good evening to all. So I will be giving a brief description about what a book review is there, and I have done many book reviews for McGraw-Hill books, you know, the printed books, and about because I'll give you more of practical knowledge in that, but we'll go through the theory first and then the practical, why a book review. And for the proposal, yes, I was a consultant for ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. I have done USAID projects. Okay, and I was also with NPTI, National Power Training Institute, and done various projects there. So I will give you some practical knowledge because I'm more of a practical person. Not much of theories, though I am a professor of human resource and organization behavior. So what is a book review? So can I interact with them? I cannot see any one of them.
No, madam, they are not allowed.
Okay.
Only
okay.
they can raise hand. Then only
okay. Okay. So when I speak about book review, what is a book review and what is the difference between a book review and report? I'll also tell you that you can visit my website drshikakapoor.com, where you can see my projects, my books also. In that the details are already done, and plus I also have an NGO And you get projects through NGO also, like CSR projects, where you can write proposals and you can get projects. So even as faculty members, you can get projects, and even as researchers, if you are a PhD scholar, you can also go for projects. So I'm more into management projects, though there are many science and technology projects also. So when I see what is a book review, it is basically a description and critical account of a book. A book is there are 400 pages in the book, but a review can be of 4-5 pages, which can give you a crux knowledge, a synopsis of the book. That is, what are the main content of the book? And it provides a summary of the content and assess the value of it to potential readers. But what is a book review, a book report? It is an objective summary of the main ideas and arguments the book presents. It helps potential reader determine if the book will be of any use or interest to them. So that is the difference between a book and a report. So why write a book review? One way to share a book that you have read, you want to review that, and you can give, because it's your opinion, you want to write opinion. Like nowadays people tweet their opinions about if budget is there. So they want to give reviews, their reviews in their opinion, to let others know what you enjoyed the most in the book and why, and helps a person to make an informed choice. Let people be informed, like what is your decision, what is your opinion about the book. A philosophy, a book about philosophy, a book about life after death. Okay, so but people want to review it so that they can give your opinion or suggestions about it. So what does it consist of? If we talk about book reviews, so there is a total introduction, a body, and then a conclusion. So suppose, like I have a book in HRM, so where human resource management, so which speaks about the different styles, the various functions of HR, and what are the different departments of HR, and what is the new in HR which is coming. So if you are writing a book review, so you will first see, because there, if you take if you think about book review, so there are 6 steps basically which are counted during a book review, where you read the book properly. First you read the book. It can be a fictional book, it can be a poem, or it can be an autobiography or anything. So you see the outline and the knowledge of that book, and then how the author introduces himself, work done by the author, how does he express, how the grammar he uses, and the background research and the professional choice. Which kind of writing does the author do? Okay, what writing in the sense, is it aggressive, is it passive, or it is a neutral writing? Aggressive means, suppose he's writing something about the freedom fighters, or he's writing something about the pandemic, or he's writing about the budget. If you say somebody writes a book on the the inflation rate of India, and so what is his professional choice? The third is a statement of the subject matter, like what kind of matter it is. Either it's a philosophy of life, what is life after death, or what is a reincarnation. It is different type of books are there. So non-fiction, what is the plan, what is the clarity of thought of the author, what does he want to portray with the book, or any literary work one has done. So summing of that. So basically the book knowledge, summing of the book knowledge. And then the fourth step is basically to see the author's style, and use of language, and how the clarity of thought the author has in him, and how he wants to portray it toward the world with his review, with his opinion, with his decision. And the fifth is the selection mentor mention of the material, that is how he grasps the content, which part are for analysis. Okay, either he concludes by analysis, by maybe a focus group discussion or one-to-one interview he does. And so review is basically a pick and choice method which the author wants to do the book review. And the conclusion is last and not the least. So the receiver must be conscious and comment on the critically analyze the review, the book, and then give the review. So it is it is how, when you write about, when we talked about the introduction, how you are reviewing the book. So one has to see grab the attention of the reader by including a quote from the book. When you're starting the introduction of the review, then you can start with a quote which you feel is the most the heavy thing in the book, and telling something about the author, the purpose for writing the book. Now, why has he written the book? What was the idea behind the author writing a particular book? An intended audience. Suppose we talk about Chetan Bhagat's Two States. So what was his intention? Basically his personal life, because Two States is more about the personal life of Chetan Bhagat, because he has married a South Indian. So, and he is from North India. So maybe the differences of opinion and maybe some reality which is he's portraying in the book, how he met his wife and how he relates it. Now it is a movie. So how things are given by the author, it is seen from what point of view the story was written, telling the genre of the book, that is fiction, non-fiction, mystery, or romance. Now the body, when you write about the body, you give a summary of the plot that includes information about the setting and the main characteristics. You can include a hint about the ending, but don't give away the best part. Make the book sound as exciting and interesting. Suppose we talk about Titanic as a book. So it now when you are writing a book, suppose it's a fictional book, or you are writing a book on UFO, unidentified flying objects. Recently they say things were seen. So it's a fictional, because it's not proved enough. So how you are making the thing very interesting, how with your words, with your portrait, with your thoughts which are coming up. The conclusion part is you give your opinion and the reasons for your opinion. You have to be honest. Don't be afraid to say if you didn't enjoy the book. And reading recommendation, who might or might not like the book. What is the intended age group? Like if you're writing a book, there is a age group you intend people to read. So it is, every newspaper has a panel of book reviews, even this Tina, Akshay Kumar's wife, she also writes review in newspaper. Okay, review of certain, maybe a TV serial, or maybe a film, or maybe review about life. Her encounter with a certain person. So you write book reviews, and you write column reviews also, you see in Times of India. So it is particularly about a particular subject. and how you make that interesting to do book reviewing for the book review feature. So the most important qualification of a book reviewer is the knowledge on the subject. Naturally, if you are more interesting into fiction, so you are knowledgeable about that area, or you are reviewing about, you know, philosophy of life, or if you do meditations, you like books on that, and then you want to review, and and the utility of the book from the reader's point of view. Like, you know, I do more of subject-based book reviews for Tata, McGraw-Hill, Sage, and other major publishers. So as a book reviewer, I will basically see what is the objective of the book, what is the syllabus it wants to portray, you know, is it for the undergraduate, it is for the postgraduate, and what all contents is it applicable, is it industry and your academia interaction, and so that, you know, the academic should know everything, what are the main points nowadays in 2022-23, what are the competencies the subject will help the student to acquire, so that he can interact and adapt himself with the industry. So when we are doing book reviews of content based, of subject based reviews, we see what we want the students to know about the industry, because ultimately they will be going to industries and they will face, because when we are teaching the postgraduate or undergraduate, we have to see the industry based education should be there, and it should be, that's why it's industry 4.0, now it's coming as 5.0. So reviewer conveys and comments about the book in a readable and acceptable manner. A small review of the book is generally 3 to 5 paragraphs. So if you permit, I can show you, I'll just complete that, and I'll show you the book review forms which we do for the different publishers. So reviewer process usually starts with the name of the book, the name of the publisher, name of the pages, and the price. So when we are reviewing a particular book, subject book, we have to see what are the competitors of this book. Maybe what, suppose it's a human resource, being a professor of HR, I can tell you about HR. So what are the different publishers who are publishing the same types of book, and how many pages, because pages are also counted, because what are the, you know, how the students will be attracted towards the book, and the price should be almost the same, so that it will attract. And one more attraction which a book wants is, nowadays the publishers, they give to the faculty and the students who are taking the book is the PPTs of the modules. So that is to attract. So when we are writing our book review, we are seeing the content of, first the content of the book, the adaptability with the industry. Then we see how the modules are being represented. That means how the definition, the case studies, and how the quizzes, and what is the understanding and the practical thing. And nowadays one more thing is done, is the practical interface with that chapter. Okay, how it is being accepted by the industry, or any PSDA, that is the professional development assignments, are being provided or not. So reviewing is important, is like I told you earlier, the description and objective of the book is important, something about the author, brief account of what the book tries to highlight, a comparison of the book with the other important book in the same field, and appraisal, preferably indirect, through the description, exposition in terms of aims and purpose of the author. So it tells the reader briefly whether the book is worth reading or not, and it gives an unbiased view. You have to give, when you are a reviewer, you have to give an unbiased view because it is for the community. An ideal reviewer should convey to its reader a sense of what the book is about, its plot, character, whether or not the author has accomplished what he intended to, and some evaluation based on the reviewer's standard of writing, taste, and experience. How that book is. So it is a theory kind of book, it is a course book, it is a fictional book, or it's a poem, or a bunch of poems which are being shown. Either it is about nature, it is philosophy of life, anything. It gives the reader the information also, and it's whether or not he wants to read the volume for discussion. Usually a discussion angle is also in put a room. So when it usually in the course book, so that a point of discussion where the professor can discuss with the students about an open consensus about a certain case or maybe a certain situation in the industry. So by reading the reviewer, the reader should get to know what the book is about, what is new or innovating in it, and what is the quality and writing of such other details. Book review is to bring out the main points of the book in a few sentences and apprise the readers of what the author has tried to say and bring out. So start with a couple of sentences describing about what the book is about, discuss about the particular you liked in the book and disliked in the book. So rounds of review and rating. There's always a rating 1 to 10 we have to give when you are reviewing the book. So so when we are telling about the sentences that describe it, is that if it's a series, then you have to read the series and you have to know about the content of the book and discuss what you particularly liked about the book. That is, focus on your thoughts and feelings. What was the favorite character? Suppose it's a storyline, it's a dramatic story, then what is a favorite character? How did you feel? How it is related to the reality? Did the story keep you guessing? If it's a suspicious criminal novel, then things like that. Was certain types of scenes written particularly well? The tenses which are being used. So how was your feeling after reading the book? Did it make you laugh or cry? And how do you grip the story grip when you are turning into the pages? So these are some of the ways you are liking or disliking the book. But the last should be the summary. Some of your thoughts on the book by suggesting the type of the reader you recommend. For example, young reader, older readers, fan of the relationship drama, mystery stories, comedy. Are there any book of series you compare it? How do you compare it? So that is how for the bibliomatic review, suppose the research paper review you do. So that is the research of, suppose if I talk about the word you can say competency, like I'm into HR, so I can tell you some word. Suppose you want the talent management to come up. So if it's a bibliomatic review, then when did it start? When did it come to India? And, how did it proceed and how it was helpful to the HR people and how, so that is a total research. Who said, why he said, when he said. So that is a bibliomatic review of a particular case or maybe a research on a particular topic. So this is a sample. The book is full of suspense. You are always surprised. This is Among the Hidden. It's a great novel. So book is full of suspense. You are always surprised of what happens. The story is set in the future. The government has laws. So you are describing about the book. So then you have a person like Luke discovers that the new neighbors have a third child, some suspense which is coming up. So then is last paragraph. So it is 4 or 5 paragraphs only. The review is there. So the story, how about the story? What are the characters? And among, so if you have read the book, mm, it is about, the change management. If you have read that book, I'm forgetting the name, but it is Who Moved My Cheese? Anybody must have read about Who Moved My Cheese. That is about the change management which is coming up, how change management is taken. So this, I'll just tell you the review of the book. This is about, there are 4 people here. 2 are like men. They are people like men, and 2 are, they are characters of mice. So 2 are like men and 2 are like mice, and there is a maze where the cheese is kept. Cheese can be described as a product, manufacturing, certain. This is about organization. So Who Moved? It is a bestseller book. If you can see, you can read it later. It must be in YouTube, or you can find the book PDF in the internet. I think so it's available, but it is a very good book. You can read. See, so it is about these 4 people, the story of these 4 people, where they are, how they are leading their lives. So that is, they are like men. They are more of relaxed. They are not proactive. So they are very lethargic and they procrastinate. Procrastination means like, I'll do it next time. So I will let me relax. They are not proactive. They are reactive. So proactive and reactive is 2 different words, but these are 2 mice who are always into new things. So even if they have cheese with them, cheese is the, the future with them. Maybe the money, maybe the product, maybe the food, they are there, but they are curious what is next. So that is what shows about life. So it was during when I was there in the corporate. I'll tell you, my background is I have worked for United Nations, ILO. I started, I'm from Delhi University. So I started my career with United Nations, ILO, where I did, United Nation project of income generation project. And then then I started with corporate. That was Aisha Tractors, if you know. I was there for 9 years in the HR, where I learned many HR techniques. Then I started my own consultancy called HR Solutions. So there I started doing projects, but when I came into academics, then I started writing books. So I was with the ADB, I was the ADB consultant also. So I have done projects of US aid projects. These are United Nations project. I did for NPTI, National Power Training Institute, where I did US aid projects. I'll be showing you that when I am showing the project, this thing. But when I came into academics way back in 2000, then after a certain period, after my PhD, I started into writing books, and that's how the publisher got to know, and they started giving me book reviews. So it is a lifelong process of learning which one has to do, because writing is a skill and one has to nurture these skills. And there are now various softwares for nurturing your writing, like Grammarly is there, where the PhD scholars can also use for writing, where the grammatical errors are being noticed and it is being intimated to you. So now various softwares are there which help you in various reviews. So before this, these are basically YouTube sites where I wanted you to know. So, but let me share my formats, how to do book reviews for various publishers. Why it is going blank? Why it is not uploading this to set?
What happened, ma'am?
It's not uploading what I wanted to show. It's coming blank.
That YouTuber?
Yeah, no, not YouTube. I
Okay.
wanted to show a format, how to do it's, the desktop is going.
So slide, your screen sharing only slide how to do an academic book review. That's only shown.
Acha, it's showing there. So I have to stop sharing and then I have to start a new one.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Because, it's coming, my screen is coming blank. I
You
don't
have
know
to scan.
how
You
to
will
do
go
it.
to share screen.
Just a sec. Stop share and then.
Then again you have to share.
Yeah, it's okay. I wanted to show them a format, so that it can help them.
Now we have started sharing.
Yeah. Why it is showing? Now, is it showing?
Now you open it. Open. Textbook
Can you see it?
Book review. Then what you want to open?
Sage publication, but why it is coming blank? It is coming.
No. You first you stop sharing, then you open it, then you share it.
Okay, but it's not. Just a sec. Why did I change? I should have gone that way only. Now?
No.
Share screen. Again, I'll do it.
Again you have to share screen.
There's a problem coming.
Okay, now okay. Sage Publication India Private Limited.
But I can't see.
We are seeing.
I can't see. What's happening?
You are shared now.
Shared, but I can't see it. There's some problem coming. Can you solve the problem from there?
I will check my admin.
There's a problem, I think so, from there. It's coming green, it's coming pink.
Sir, shall I give post permission? Ma'am, sir.
Because it's not staying with me. It's something is, blinking.
இப்ப மேடம் ஏதோ ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்ண முடியலன்றாங்க பாருப்பா.
It's not coming.
அது எப்படி சால்வ் பண்ண முடியுமா எப்படி?
It's should I do task manager and then again should I come? Should I?
You have to close everything and again you have to open, madam.
I think so. There's a problem coming.
From the system problem there. Check பண்றோம் பா. So we are able to see the screen. சொல்லுப்பா. அப்படியா? சரி. ஏன்னா நம்மளுக்கு ஸ்கேர் ஆகுது, அவங்களுக்கு தெரியலையும். சுத்தமா போயிடுதே ஒண்ணுமே. அவங்க வெளியே போயிட்டாங்கன்னா என்னாச்சு பாருங்க இப்போ. சரி 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 ஓகே, நான் செக் பண்றேன். ஓகே. ஹலோ, சொல்லுங்க சார். எம்பிஏவா? சொல்லுங்க. என்னைக்கு வரான்? அதான் இல்லை, ஆக்சுவலாக உடம்பு சரியில்லாம் எங்ககிட்ட இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணாமல் லீவ் போடுறது பிரச்சனை ஆகுது. வேற ஏதாவது இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிடலாம். Participant, please wait. Madam is presenting from New Delhi. She's having some connectivity issues there. It will be solved immediately. Please wait. I am also waiting for it. Participant, please wait, participant. Sorry for the inconvenience, please wait. It was sorted out immediately, we'll start. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, welcome, welcome.
It was then internet problem. So
Okay, welcome, madam.
Yeah.
Let's start now.
Sorry for
Okay.
the interruption.
Okay, sorry, ma. Sorry, I asked sorry for but no issue. They are all waiting. Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you the SAIT publication, you know, how we do reviews and what are the formats. This is how we do for, these are the standard format for doing book reviews, the title, the author, the contact details. So if you are doing review for a book, the course book, these are the process of doing it. The obligations. Okay, and then the manuscript, the title, the subtitle, the length of the manuscript, the approximately page extent, the number of chapters the book has, the word processing. So the text, this thing, the aim and scope comes here when you're doing a course content book review. And then the synopsis is here. And the silent features, the contents. So this is how you do in their format. For different publishers, there are different formats. So you do according to that format. You know, this is the requirement, the major topics of the book, the primary course. Okay, what are the course market for which your book would serve for the reference? Then in what extent does your manuscript meet the syllabi requirement? The title of the book, the author, publisher, which are the other authors which will be, which are writing, and what are their strengths and limitations, and how your book is different than theirs. Can you hear me?
You are audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then this is the declaration. This is how the book reviews are written. But when you are doing a review, these are the course book for the publishers, how we do it. Then starting with the, I think so, I should not do any mischiefs with my computer because, you know, something is happening. So we'll start with the proposal writing, and maybe the YouTube, when we have time, we can show it. Now, what is proposal writing? You know, proposal writing can be a project proposal. Project, you know, in management or even in engineering, there are different nowadays what the corporates also want is they want somebody to do their projects. Like I'll tell you, I have done projects of income generation for United Nations. That was ILO, International Labour Organization. That was an income generation project. That was a pilot project which I did for United Nations. That was way long back. This was a small entrepreneurship, you know, I can speak like it was 30 years before. So it was start of my career where I had to make these illiterate people having a small entrepreneur venture for them. So these were, you know, these were illiterate people. So they, what we did, we were two people, we were put in a slum where we have to rehabilitate them. And it was funded by United Nations. So we had DDA for the infrastructure. Now, how will you quote them to proposal had to be made, how you can make them an entrepreneur. So that time I remember we had IIM Ahmedabad professor coming and giving up 15 days, you know, training on how to do startups. That was a new craze of entrepreneurship that time. So we divided these three groups during a survey. We divided three groups of people residing there. One was the skilled worker, one was the semi-skilled worker, and one was the unskilled. So unskilled, that means he doesn't know anything. So we had to start up a venture for that. Semi-skilled, that means they knew a little bit because they had maybe working in a small, they had the idea of working. And skilled, that means some of them were tailors. So the unskilled worker, 32 years back, yes, we started this venture. That time banning of plastics was not there, but a small venture had to be started for the unskilled worker. We started them with making paper bags for them, and then then venturing out how to sell that. So we made proposals for different organizations, how they can dispose of their paper and help these people. So that was one venture, and making them able so that they can sell the products. The second was we started a masala grinding center for this semi-skilled workers. So a proposal was made how to make them entrepreneurs so that they can stand on their own feet. So DDA helped us with the infrastructure and how to market, how to take the raw product. Then it is a small scale factory, you can say, where they are doing masala grinding. Either that time they were using small equipment for that, and later on when the things came up, then we had small machines for them. And the first step of selling was in the plastic bags, and then it was with the candle, it had to be closed, and then later on we had the machine. So that was setting up an entrepreneur for the semi-skill. So proposal was made for that also. And the third was these were the people who were skilled people, they knew tailoring. So we had to make proposals for the government organizations where they can make uniforms from these skilled people. And we got orders from Khadi Gram Udyog. That time they used to make kurtas for the women, so for stitching for them. And this was all funded by the government and the DDA giving the infrastructure. This was the first project which I did for the United Nations. And then once you do an international project, let me tell you that you can be a ADB consultant, that is a Asian Development Bank. I'll show you all the websites. I've already opened it, so I'll show you the websites also after we talk about how to write proposals and other things. So from where you can get projects, and so CSIR also you get projects nowadays. CSR projects you get from different, because there are many foundation. HCL has a foundation, TCS has a foundation. Every organization has a foundation because they have to do CSR projects, and that is as per the corporate governance, it's binding as per the amendment of the 2013. That 2% of the profit has to be there for CSR. So that is one of the criteria. You can have NGO projects. You can make proposals for starting an NGO, and if you have an NGO, you can start. You can make proposals how to get grants from different agencies for starting up your own consultancy. Though it is a very difficult process, because I have encountered difficult processes. I started an NGO also, let me tell you that. That was also for various CSR projects. And my first project proposal, which I got it from the government, was from the Labor Ministry. And that actually the government helped me because there is a need, and the R was banning of child labor. So that was the first proposal. The government only wanted me to help them. I'm staying in Faridabad in Haryana. So it was banning of child labor in that was in 2008. That was basically banning. It came in the certain where there were more factories. So 14 years and below, you cannot employ them in factory. So that was, and even that included begging also, and that including, rag pickers also. So the first, this from the NGO, I made a proposal how to help them, and that time the government was giving aid. So I did it for the Ministry of Labor, that was the funding agent, but I did it for the Haryana government, the DM office, the District Magistrate office. Though my NGO helped me to get this fund, but I took the help of around 20 management students who did a survey for how many child laborers are there in the vicinity of Faridabad. That is, there are the district is Faridabad, and the neighboring areas. What are the occupation they are encountered, and their addresses. One major limitation was there. These child laborers could be found in the traffic lights, but one day they are in one traffic light, the other they are. So the proposal also we had 10 NGOs who helped to start 50 schools for the child laborers. You can see my website, drshikharkapoor.com, where the total details of the NGO is there, and how we started and what we were doing in the child labor project. And this was 50 schools we started for with 50 children, 40 schools with 50 children in these one school, that is 2,000 children. And they were made the NGO. There were 10 NGOs who were functioning in these different places, and maybe 1 or 2 schools were given to them. And there was a total scheme how to, slowly help them, the children, in education, and then coming up with, education, and then taking them off from the child labor activity, whatever they are doing. Either they are doing that shoe polishing, or they are begging in the streets. Okay, and giving them 2 hours education with the midday meals. So this was a project for the NGO I did way back in 2008, which it was also a pilot project, and which started in Haryana that time, because Sonipat and Faridabad were the main industrial areas, and banning was very much necessary. So this was a government project which I did for the government, and I was the project director there. This was one of the projects. Another project which I made proposal was influenced by this project, because this was a big acclaimed project, and which got a total coverage of the media. And it was in 9 o'clock news that had come that this Faridabad is having 50 schools, and how they are helping in to, to remove themselves from the child labor activity. And this was that project which gave a boost. And then NHPC, like different companies, they also have, you have to give proposals so that they can give you funds for the proposal. They have a CSR, big PSUs, they have CSR funds which run in crores, and they need projects where, as institution, you can give projects where they can, they can fund you. This was a project of self-help group for the women empowerment, which I did for the NHPC. I made a proposal I will show you the, how to write proposal and how was the project written, the report written of the project. I'll show you that also. So this was women empowerment through self-help groups for social and economic empowerment of women. So you know about self-help group. These are small clusters of women, like 10 to 15 women. They are given funds for starting up a small venture. Grameen Bank gives them that aid, and if you see in the budget this time, earlier in the budget, there is a big scope for self-help groups, which they are giving, the government has given budget. And they are very small ventures, home entrepreneurship. The women have started from the home itself, like, Seva is also an NGO which started with self-help group, and they have given employment to various women in the clusters, and they are making Lucknow suits. And if you know, in the northeastern side, they are having caning centers and making caned packed food products. And in Himachal side, they are making pickles. And also they are papad. It was started by a woman, I don't remember the name. She started papad making, and how she gave employment, and even self-help group for the in Gujarat, they have that venture of all the cow, the milk they started, and with the self-help group, and then they made it big. So this was a small women cluster which were given funds. And if you know about self-help groups, there every month they have to save and put their having the account and giving it to them. So a proposal had to made how you will, the sustainability of project is very much important when you are writing the proposal. What will be the fund, who all will be the people involved, and what will be the financials, and it will be helping. If you're writing a CSR project, then how much it will help the community, that has to be seen. So it has to be a clear cut proposal when you are writing. So when we talk about proposal, it is a request for financial assistance to implement a project. Like now government has given aids for, for the universities. They can have 3 AI labs. So, but a proposal has to be written for that. Even 35,000 crores have been given for renewable energy. So there will be much projects there also. And
Madam, your slide is not moving, madam.
Yeah, I'm not moving the slide.
Okay,
I'm speaking.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm giving the examples, so I'm not moving the slides now. So then once I'll go through, I'm giving examples because, slides, you can get it from anywhere. So I'm telling them their experience, how they can use these proposals and where they can put their proposals for funding. So you can get aids from various corporates, where you have to write proposal. You have to see what is the venture they are going into. If you are writing a CSR proposal, then you have to see how it can help the community and how it can help the organization also, because it is a brand. The brand also, CSR makes it a brand. So the course content, it is writing a skills and require considerable knowledge in many disciplines. And if you do not have a proposal writing skills, your organization will not obtain the funding requirement to carry out the projects. So a good level of proposal writing is important. So elements of effective proposal writing include the proper formatting. So the presentation of a proposal has to be good enough so that it can impress upon the other party who are giving the funds. So the content development, how it will be helping, the satisfying program criteria, demonstrating economic and social benefits, addressing funding agency requirement, demonstrating the sustainability of the project or output, which I was telling now. Now many projects are into green HRM and sustainability, because that is also part of CSR. You can say green marketing, neuro marketing, and AI based projects are will be available by the government, or aids can be taken from the different the big corporates. So demonstrate selecting the qualified consultants. When you're writing proposals, I'll show you one of those proposals which I had written. So the qualified consultants have to be the resumes, and what are their experience are very much counted. Monitoring the evaluation and process, the proposal follow-up, the proposal, because for sustainability, the follow-up has to be done. So proper referring of the other documentation and other sources of information used in preparing the proposal has to be done. So your proposal should demonstrate that your project will provide economic benefit to an area of a community. Like I told you about women empowerment, that is social and economic reform. So that the women in the slum cluster can come up and they help in the livelihood, they can help in the economic balance of the household. So have a high probability of success. Definitely you have to see the futuristic, you have to have the predictive analysis, you can say, of the project. So I'll tell you also one of the USAID project which I did for NPTI, National Power Training Institute. That was about upgradation of training programs in Afghanistan. So that was a funded project by USAID, which was highlighting because in Afghanistan that time, maybe 10 years before which I did this project, was they were bombing in Afghanistan going. So they had a building which was demolished because of the bomb attack. And so this was a training center. So they had to restructure the training center, but they have to see the sustainability of this this training center, so that they can be self-reliant. Because nowadays, if you're starting an institute, even if with the help of funded by any of the founders, but one has to, when you're writing a proposal, the sustainability of that project has to be there, because they have to, first the funds will be there maybe 2-3 years, but 5 years they have to be self-sustained. So that is the objective nowadays of major projects, which has to be taken into consideration. So it should be economically viable, have stakeholder support, be consistent with the development strategies. So strategic planning has to be there. Then you have to write proposal, and then the project management. So various apps are also there which can help you in the project management and proposal. So when we are doing the strategic management part, so good proposal writing is essential for organization to fulfill its mandate. So proposals are developed to address a strategic need identified by the organization or to solve a problem. The goals of good proposal closely match the strategic goals of the organization. So proposals also provide organization with the resources to accomplish these strategic goals. So when you're doing planning, most organization recognize there is a limit on the public funding available to the particular sector, region, or the organization. So there has to be intense strategic planning for the proposal writing. So once you are writing on a particular subject, you have to have a total knowledge about the content, what you are planning, because you have to do research on that area. So the process of applying for funding processes organization to pursue the most important and the most time-sensitive projects first. Organization must determine which initiatives are truly critical as well as priority of the project in relation to each other. So to start with, we start with the background section, then highlight the key facts, work on the observation sector, work on the executive summary. Your report should solve problems, write it in a logical flow, keep your audience in mind, and it should be plain English, not high-fly English, but it should be a English with understandable. Now, writing a proposal, it has to have a convincing part. You know, the communicative, persuasive communication, like you are the best for the job. You know, you have to be confident enough, like if you're writing a proposal and this is the proposal which I can do, and I'm the best in that area. So specify, you have to highlight your competencies and your team competencies when you are putting a proposal. Specify what the client can expect from the project. Establish what your deliverables will be. Confirm and outline the cost. Specify any other contract terms and conditions, and keep the proposal concise. So it should have contained the description of problems that your client is facing, an examination or study of those problems from the perspective of your perspective, and finally, a set of recommendation of solution to their problems. If there is a problem and it's a defined problem, which for which you have to write a proposal. So define a problem, the structure of the problem, prioritize the issues, analysis plan and work plans, conduct analysis, synthesize funding, develop recommendations. So when you're writing, so these have to be considered: the cover page, the executive summary, the project line, that is the scope of the work, the timeline, what are the funds, and also the description of the funds. Stationery fund is, the travel fund is this, you know, the content development fund, maybe the typing fund. So it has to be described. The client requirement, expiry date, there is always a deadline for the project if you're doing. And the cover page, which is very much important. So the cover page is your company's name, the branding, the client name, the project name, and the date of the proposal. Executive summary will have to provide a brief overview of the project, proposed project, highlight the client issues and the challenge, along with how you plan to address them. So now project outline, what you will and will not do for the proposed fees, the deliverables, the timeline. Fees and the payment terms have to be clarified. The client requirement, the expiry date, and the contract terms. So the proposal research is very much important before you are submitting. So I told you what are the guidelines of how you have to write, but before writing the proposal, a research has to be done on the topic which you are writing. So proposal are intended to communicate exactly what your group is attempting to accomplish, the problem to be addressed, the resources required, and when activities will be performed. These elements needs to be substantiated through research. The decision must be on the documented facts. So examine the location. So what location are you like? What is the location where the project will be there? So like for the income generation, for the women empowerment self-help group, the location which was provided for me was, because I was the principal assessor for this project. So it was in Nithari village in Noida. So where, you know, it's a urban slum. So urban slum, the women are still knowledgeable, some are well read, but they don't have the avenues how to start it and whom to approach to start it. So that is there. So the location also matters a lot. If it is there in a village, in a small village, so what are the competencies of these people you have to see, and then you have to write proposal to how you can help them. Like many of the companies here in Haryana, they have adopted various villages as part of the CSR project, and they have given to NGOs, and some of them have started looms. They have made looms business. They are, by adoption, they are seeing the employment of the young crowd, and for the middle aged, they started looms, making small, rugs and other things as per the requirement of the market. So funding agencies look for the local initiatives and the utilization of community resources in the funding process. They also want the project proposal to indicate what the projects will be self-supporting in the long term. The research you document in your proposal should address these issues, that is involving the community, the stakeholders, and the project beneficiaries in research process in the best way to ensure that is valid. So the primary data is the new information collected directly by you. So primary data, if you know, what I was trying to relate was when I was doing that child labor project, then I had to research how many children are there in the district for which we can start that NGO. So for that, the proposal can we start, schools for the child labor. So examples include a survey of the area, resident market test, or interviews with industry experts. Primary data is usually the best, but very time consuming and costly. That is, but when you have to have an authentic measure for your proposal, the primary data is necessary. Secondary data you can get from the government reports, industry association studies, zone board strategic plans, market books, periodical articles, and engineering reports. So the funding cap is there, the percentage of funding which you want the government or the company to provide to start your project. So eligible cost, the eligible applicants, the eligible sector, the project location, the information requirement. Your project proposal should be honest. Like if you are seeing Shark Tank. So what is Shark Tank? Shark Tank is the young entrepreneur. They're coming and they are giving their proposal for getting, their startups being invested by these investors. So they have written a proposal. So it's what we are seeing in the TV. Just, they are coming for 5 minutes and giving the proposal. But the idea, it must be taking a lot of time seeing each and every proposal, because everything has to be written when you are writing a proposal, and everything, you have to sign your proposal, because that is only the authentic measures. So we should not misinterpret the facts, making statement, to be untrue. Fabricating research or citing non-existing sources is a recipe for disaster. So proposal should capture the reading interest and draw them to the key points, stress the benefits of the proposal, and demonstrate the proposal has been well thought through. So now formatting also is concerned. It is important, because when you are presenting a proposal, it is a brand you, because that proposal is representing you and your personality to the person who will be funding. So how you are writing, how you are, the presentation is also an art, and communication is also art, because that is how a person will be receptive to what you are trying to speak. So it is pleasing to the eye, but also adds to the perception that the document is well thought of, enhances the credibility and the professionalism of your organization, is easy to read and understand, facilitates the understanding of the proposal content. It makes it easy for the reader to find information they are looking for. The first page often serves as a cover. It should include the date, the project title, the project location, name of the organization, any required information. Make it easy for the readers to find the information they require. Each heading should be listed with its corresponding page number. Keep it reasonable length. Too many headings can be weird. So proposal formatting, the appendix is there to avoid crowding of the body. Typical appendix include the material list, the engineering drawing, or the letter of support, whatever in relation you are writing the proposal. So formatting, the length is also important because it should not be too long, because it should be, grasping the attention. So the length should usually depend on the number of resources being requested, layout, the margin, the spacing, the font, the heading, and the numbering should be consistent with that of the document. The writing, the sentence structure, the grammar, spelling should be checked. Footnoting and referencing should be done. The codes, the statistics, the table, the reference of all the information prepared. So the content depends on the nature of the project and the funding agency. So typical contents include the housekeeping data, the applicant name that I talked, the executive summary, and the project description. So the project schedule, like, what time till period time and what will be done in that time, what all will be the outcome of the project also has to be told. So this will be an outcome and how it will be helping depending on the project. So project background, readers need to understand the origin and the context of your proposal. The background section of your proposal explains why the project is needed. The goals and objectives should be well defined, and it should have a long-term broads. The objectives are specific. So partnership, when you are in partnership, so what are the people, skills, and fundings you are using, and how it will help with the project planning. The project management also is a major part, which just demonstrate that your organization has people and system for the continuation of the project. And how are the resource allocation provided. The marketing plan of the project. So that is all depending on the project, which kind of project you are doing, and it should be self-sufficient. The budget, the breakdown cost as much as possible to demonstrate your budget. Other financial, the cash flow projection, the revenue statement, and the balance sheets which are required. So, and what will be if it's a social project, then how economic and social benefit it will be, like short-term project employment, long-term employment, skill development, which is the major, upcoming projects nowadays, the increased tax revenues, the non-financial, the positive outcome for the target groups. Some include the preservation. So these are. And lastly is the monitoring and the evaluation of the project, which is important. What is the monitoring and control, the follow-up and the evaluation? Whenever you start a new project, so the follow-up and the monitoring level is very much important, and the evaluation till how far you have achieved. So 4 aspects of monitoring and evaluation is the project monitoring, how the project cost, quality, schedule, and the scope will be monitored, the best practices which are there, how you plan and capture and record what you learn, the accounting, the retention, and the record of financial project. Because when you have taken an aid or funding, the financials are also very much important, because they are a source, your funds are always on the vigilance, and you have to give reports, every monthly reports or quarterly reports depending on the project. So project output determining the success of your project. And so evaluation for small proposals, the proposal of invoices along with 2 or 3 page summary report at the end of the project. For larger long-term projects, a regular detailed narrative report should be required. These projects may include information and extent to which the objectives have been fully reached. So many these are special. The follow-up, which I said after submission, try to open up even if you submit the proposal and everything, and suppose you have got the funds, so follow-up has to be done. So cover letter, express your willingness to be interviewed. So you want, the company to call you, where you can represent, and how you can go forward with the project. So now I will show you. See, I'll just show you this. This was a proposal for NPTI National Power Training. This was, a tender had come in the newspaper, and we had to write, a proposal, a short proposal, so that we can get the TNA, that was training need analysis, to be done for the power utilities of Himachal Pradesh. So this was one of the tender we had given. So this is how a cover letter is written. Can you see this letter? Can you see it? Anybody there?
Cannot visible, ma'am.
You can see the letter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this was an NPTI proposal for the training needs, for the assessment of the Himachal Pradesh electricity utility. What is the background? You have to write the background, the determinants of manpower, number.
Ma'am, just open the document, ma'am.
You can see the document?
No, ma'am.
Achha, so new share, okay. Now you can see?
No, ma'am.
Achha. I have to stop sharing and then I have to start the new share.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Can you see now?
No, madam.
Huh?
No.
Why it is not coming? I'm putting it. Just a sec. I'll open it my desktop.
First you open. First you open, madam.
I think so. That is the
Hmm.
problem. I'll just show. Can you see it now?
Now okay, madam.
Now you can. Now I got to. Okay, so I was telling, this is like I told you how to write cover letters. So this was one of the cover letters we had written. So this is how the cover letter is written. So you mention about the proposal and then you are giving your short description of the proposal. So NPTI, the background of this proposal. And then this was a training need analysis, proposal, training need analysis you had to do for the power utility of Himachal Pradesh. That is the people who are working in the power utility, their competencies and other things. So first we talked about the manpower skills and training needs which are required for electricity. People who are working in electricity, the information technology, the commercial output, the remedy. So the old paradigm was this, and now the new. So when the new schemes have started in the power utility Himachal Pradesh, so what all skills will be required for the new paradigm? So this was about that. Now, how will you do it? What will be your focus and what will be the period? So training should focus on the work, the table, the immediate problems of the employee training. So these were there. And then the deliverables. So how they will deliver the prospect and how they shall supply the report. Okay. And what they will be do, the cost and the financials. So 2-level consultants and, what will be the cost. So this is how one of the, I'll show you another one. See, this was also one of the consultancy project, how the proposal was written. For this was training need analysis for Maharashtra, Karnataka, Sholapur Power Training Institute. So this was how the this is done. So this was written by the director. This is submission. So how the proposal is written, the background, the status of the project, the course, teaching, not teaching staff, income and expenditure statements. This is how the expenditure was there, the difference, the profit, the requirement of a consultant, requirement consultancy firm, eligibility, the submission. So this is how these are the different annexures which are established. So it depends on what kind of projects you are putting the proposal, the scope of work, the deliverables, final report, reporting requirement, progress meetings, the submission of credentials. So this is the actual report which was sent. So this is how things were done. The price basis. So your prices which were, there is always a bid for these big tenders. So these are lakhs and crores of rupees. So how the inquiries will be, the schedule and other things. So this was a proposal which is being made. So this was one. See, I will also show you one which I had done for Amity University. That was for Food Corporation of India. So can you see this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's okay. So this was a report of Food Corporation of India where we were bidding for a restructuring of the policies of Food Corporation of India. So for that we had to do, see, when you're writing a proposal, you had to go to the Food Corporation office and you had to know, because we had to change major HR policies of Food Corporation of India. So to go there, and then see their, the various policies which are funding, which they are having and how they are displaying it to their employees. Then I went to the training center. So the baseline survey has to be done, when you are writing a proposal, so that you have a area knowledge what is the content knowledge and what are the gaps you have to put. So this was or SCI. So what are the objectives, scope, the existing structure. So what are the existing structure? What should be the structure? This was long back in 2012 I had done. The existing HR policies are there, the recommendations. So the key activities which can be there, SWOT analysis, human resource restructuring, the advisory council can be there, change management team, the role of responsibilities of GM, training at FCI, how things have to develop, how a training manual, the holistic capacity building. And I'll tell you, capacity building projects are very much nowadays in thing, and they are giving proposals. Companies are giving proposals and they want consultancy firms. So there are a lot of startups of consultancy firms which has come up because they want the benchmark surveys, job satisfaction surveys for which proposals can be sent. So they want as an institution, so you can approach your near about organization and what are the need of the hour. Maybe the HR terms can do it, they can do satisfaction surveys, or they can have the they can plan about the KPIs development, training need analysis, and then you can give proposals of how to take training of employees, maybe the technical side, like you are in maritime, so you can take the technical side training for these companies. About your niche areas you can see, and how your faculty can be developed in that areas. So analysis to be conducted. So this was how a report was written as a proposal for how we can help them, and these are the ways we can help them restructuring their policies. So learning and development. So each and every field was taken care of when we were writing proposals. I'll show you. Will also show you how these companies, they want proposal in which areas. Like now REC, there was a proposal and you had to send a proposal. There was a bid for that rural electrification project. So way back, these things I'm seeing after a long time, but I had a record of these things, so I'm showing you. So these are, they had a proposal where, it is written, the technical bids of agencies were submitting the same, the bid security will be open from this and this period. So you can see that. So what are the terms and conditions? So these are how things are bidded. So they have a formal notice for the bid, for the bidding. So if I can show you various websites for it. Like I can show you ADB. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, ma'am. We are
You
seeing.
can see ADB?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good enough.
Okay.
See, this is how you can see Asian Development Bank. They have various projects. And if you can see, so project, they have different projects. Bank. See, these are the groceries. You can go into the websites and then you can see various projects. Let us see. You can see now? You can see now? Can you see? Can you see this, the projects which are there? Anybody, can you see the projects?
No, ma'am.
Oh. See, when you type Asian Development Bank, can you see now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
So Asian Development Bank, now you see there are various projects and from where you want, which country you want that project. So you can get these projects, see approval date, everything is there. See how you have to apply. Microfinance project, see this is the microfinance project. This was launched in Uzbekistan. So these are microfinance projects, you can see that. So none currently available. It was, that means the bidding was done. So this is there. You can see CSIR projects. See, these are the different projects. You can see this kind of, then also you can see USAID, USAID projects. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so this USAID projects are also there. Country Development Cooperation Strategy. So various projects you can see. So you have to hunt for these projects basically. And you have to search a lot for these projects. So that is how you can have a team in your institute where, they will be devoted for searching the projects, and a marketing team who can go to various companies, or you can send the students to various companies, what are the various projects they're having. And many of, I know companies, they are going in for CSR projects, which is already there. And they are also having training projects, they're having management development projects, they're having strategy planning projects. So if you have a management institute, they can make proposals, and this all comes when you start writing, and you have to go into writing if you are talking about book reviews. So it doesn't come in a day, so you have to really make yourself motivate yourself to write projects, because it is a lot of research you have to do when you are writing projects, before writing projects. So anybody wants to ask any questions, I'm available.
Participant, if you're interested, you can ask the questions. You can raise hand. I will allow you.
And also there are many health projects which are coming up, awareness projects, education projects. Women empowerment is also coming up into a great way. Health and prevention. Yeah. So Bhashini, you want to ask? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, I should thank you. It was a great presentation, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
And I have to thank Pungavanam sir for organizing such a wonderful, useful topic, ma'am. And my question is, I want to know whether, for example, if my brother, he is having a trust or NGO, he wanted to do a project. Do he need to be collaborated with any person, like institution, academy, or research
No,
center?
it's not necessary. NGOs can, it's a registered NGO.
Yes, ma'am.
See, when you get government projects, you have to have good sources. Let me tell you that.
Okay, ma'am.
Government things are very different to get, because what I got from this Haryana government project, that was because that is they wanted it.
Okay.
But actual, I'll tell you what happened. This was 1 crore project, but 1,50,000, 60,000 was for doing that research. How many children are there? Let me tell you that. And then I hired 20. I used to take guest lectures in various colleges. So I hired these children, MBA students. I gave them certificates, because certificate of an NGO is very worth if you're going abroad.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hired them for doing the survey for me. But when the project was on, the Haryana government got it, then they were not giving the 1 crore amount. It was such a difficult task. I had to approach because the NGOs were giving from their own pocket funds. Then I had to approach the commissioner of, of Haryana through some force, and they gave to the Haryana government. They gave to the Faridabad government, but instead of 1 crore, they gave only 52 lakhs. That means all the amount had gone.
Okay.
So for the government projects, if you know somebody who can help you, who is there in that department, nothing like it, because but corporates are good enough. There are different foundations.
Okay, ma'am.
Foundations in Chennai also, there may be different foundations, different companies, because as far as CSR, they have to do projects. So either they make their own foundation, or they give NGOs, small projects they give.
Okay.
So he has to talk to people, and there is a CSR department.
Okay, ma'am.
In every company, or the HR person.
Okay, so it is not compulsory that he has to collaborate with an institution, that is academical.
No. For women empowerment project, for the Nithari village, which I did for the social and this thing. So that was an NHPC project. I wanted to do from my NGO, but they said that you cannot be from the NGO, you cannot be an assessor. So from the institute, you have to be. So then through Amity, I became a principal and assessor, and gave the total amount to Amity for assessing.
Okay. Ma'am, as an academic professor, shall I submit a proposal, ma'am?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can send a proposal, and the institute or the university helps you, usually, because the funds will come to the university.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Funds come to the university, you know, you won't get funds, but you will be one of the monitoring agent for you know, collaborating the project.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for a
You
wonderful.
are a faculty there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm working in a private institution, ma'am.
Okay.
My brother has started an NGO recently, so I just wanted to support him. So
Okay.
it was very
No,
informative.
you can approach foundations, they help usually, but you have to write proposals or you have to give a thorough plan. And there are many because the area and the field he wants to do, it depends on that.
Okay, okay, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Anybody else?
Hello, good evening, ma'am. Very good evening.
Yeah,
And
Dr.
firstly, I just want to say you thank you. And it was very informative session, ma'am. And then very knowledgeable, and we rightly accepted this and received the session. Then my question is that if you was using the word that we can use the Grammarly, and obviously all are using the Grammarly, ma'am.
Yeah.
But the question that is coming in my mind always whenever I am using the Grammarly, that whether I'm going on a like reliable site or not, because as I'm putting my all the text there on Grammarly, and I'm always afraid of the plagiarism. So this site is collecting my data or some other things there maybe, like, so this is my doubt in my mind. So is this like right, or just I'm just having some illusion that yes, it may happen?
No, I don't think so, because I have been using Grammarly and have inbuilt it in my computers. So wherever there is a problem in the language or the synonyms, so it comes a red line. So it can be used. I don't think so there is a problem for that, using
Okay,
that.
ma'am, I'm saying that if I'm using the Grammarly, then I'm thinking that where I'm putting my all the text is the original text, and then it is going online. So whether the Grammarly can use it their own purpose, or then I can face that my text is going
I
to
don't
someone other.
know that if Grammarly uses it or
Yeah.
not, but I use it. You know, I don't know.
I am also using, ma'am, that. So
So, you
so
know,
it's
there
like
can be
question mark.
errors. We are not perfect in English. So we're
Yeah.
not English teachers. So we are not
Yeah.
perfect that. So nouns, pronouns, so things are that.
Mhm.
So whenever you're writing a paper also, research
Mhm.
papers we have to write, naturally you use it. I
So
don't think
like
so there is a problem in that.
okay, ma'am. It was like issue that I am always thinking that you were saying that we are using the Grammarly, and then apart from this, it was a very wonderful session, ma'am, and really we receive all the things you have just said, like very
Thank you so
informative
much.
knowledge you have given. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Any questions from participants?
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I'm Dr. Revati from Chelamalai Women's College, Chennai.
Hello, Dr. Revati.
Yeah, I have one doubt, ma'am. Is there any age limit for writing proposals, ma'am, for applying? Is there any age limit?
No, there's no the limit. It should be more of 4 and 5, not more than that. It depends on the type of proposal you are writing. It depends on the type of proposal. No, it is 4 to 5 is maximum. It's okay. It should not be long, because the proposal should grab the attention of the person you are sending to. So everything should be crisp in a proposal.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I hope the ma'am is asking any age limit when she can go for the proposal. I hope this is
Yes.
40-year, ma'am.
No,
40-year, I hope.
There's no
No, ma'am.
age limit.
No, ma'am, I'm just writing in proposal where they have written that the maximum or minimum 40-year age must be of your, and you can just go for an IP.
Because I sent 2 proposals for TANSI, and I sent one for DSE.
Okay.
That is IGCAR.
Okay.
And I sent one proposal for CSIR.
Okay.
All are medically important, and some related work already got selected by CSIR. The extension of the work only I submitted once again to DSE, Department of Energy. But there is no result, and I think it is not, they are not selected. That's what I suspect. Is there any age limit?
No,
because
no,
it is,
no,
uh,
see, your qualification, your designation is enough for, and if you're applying from the university or you're applying from your own side, it depends. See, it
so that's
depends.
what I had a
Is
doubt
your
that
affiliation is important.
is I affiliated to University of Madras. I am working in Chennai, ma'am.
Okay, so it is through your affiliation of your university you have given a proposal, because it depends
Yes.
who is receiving. Who is
Yes,
receiving
yes,
and
through,
yeah. So
through,
maybe you can restructure it and send it again and see.
Hello, ma'am. Can I add
yes.
something to this?
Yes.
Ma'am, I hope there is a one requirement from these people. The requirement is that sometime they are requiring the university must be NAC rankings.
NAC
ma'am.
ranking.
Within
Yes,
NAC rank. Yes,
definitely.
yes, ma'am. I hope the university is not, and the university is not having any special certificates they are requiring for the projects.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I hope this may be the
Yeah,
problem.
maybe.
Yeah.
The NAC
Okay.
requirement here.
Yes, our college is also NAC accredited, but it is having just B grade, one cycle only we have.
So maybe the grade is important. Maybe the grade,
Okay.
maybe the preliminary conditions which are important, I think so, for the proposal.
But
maybe very
we are helpless, ma'am, because we don't have the proposal is no way related to our NAC ranking. It is the capacity or the talent of the individual principal investigator. No.
See the person,
can
the
at least
panel who is
contribute after
approving.
getting-
It depends on that, no? The panel who is approving this, it depends on that.
Okay.
So that is which panel is approving, it depends on the individual personality also, and their opinion and decision on the particular project proposal which you have written.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I don't know who answered and who added value point to this.
Ma'am, myself,
Thank you,
Dr.
ma'am.
Geeta from School of Law, the lovely professional university. Then there may be some other issue, ma'am. So the budget is not matching with them. It may be here, ma'am.
Maybe the
Yeah.
budget also. So
The budget is less than 10
everything you have
lakhs.
to, yeah.
Budget is less than 10 lakhs something.
No, so maybe you can contact them again and see.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, anybody else? Any questions, or we will close the session and call it the end for the day?
I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you very much for your presence. Wonderful. Thank our Dr. Gupta sir for arranging these sessions. This session is highly interesting.
Thank you for providing me the opportunity. I'm sorry for the glitches on the computer.
Your presentation on book review is highly informative for our faculty members to write books and regarding the submitting the project proposal.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Very thank you, madam. Thank you for the wonderful
Thank you.
session.
Thank you all. And I hope I could give some part of my knowledge, and it will be helpful for all the faculties and the PhD scholars. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye. Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Thank you.
Good night. Yeah.